What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to On the Sticks for another worth a try video where I play a newly released video game, and I do my best to let you guys know if I feel like it's worth checking out. So it's definitely more of an opinion of a game, more so than a traditional game review with a score attached to it. Today we'll be checking out Nuts. Yes, we are seeing if Nuts is worth a try. Go ahead and get out all your laughs and jokes right now. Also, while you're getting out all your laughs, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends. Also, if you want to hang out with me while I play some games live, you can do so over on twitch.tv/onthesticks. I'm live most mornings during the week, 10:30 a.m. Eastern till about 3:30 p.m. Eastern. So come hang out with me in my community as I play a variety of games, produce music, and just catch up with the community on the gaming news and music news going on. Alright, first off, big shout out to Propaganda for hooking me up with the review code for the game. If it wasn't for them, this review would not be possible. So big thanks to them. Shout out to them. Y'all go at them and tell them thanks for the code as well. So Nuts is a first-person narrative surveillance adventure with a unique puzzle mechanic and a bold visual style. I like the visual style instantly because of how the game helps you out a bit by making things of importance or things you can interact with stand out a bit more than everything else in the scene. They make it a different color from everything else in the area, basically. There was one section though where things got like super whited out, but I'm not sure if it was meant to be that way or if it was just a bug in the game. Part of me think it was meant to be that way, just from a lot of times the environment will become less detailed and more of just a solid color, and as I would do more and more like zooming in, it would become more detailed. So maybe it was meant to be that way, but me being so blind out here, I have terrible eyesight and I'm partially colorblind, maybe it just looked a little off to me. But nevertheless, the visual style, the music, and all the nature sounds come together in a good combination to really set the mood for the game. Of course, you have your calm, peaceful music, which will play most of the time when you're just out exploring, doing your thing. And then they have the more intense, eerie music that comes on to hype up the stress of a certain situation or whatever task you are working on at the moment. You play as a rookie field researcher out in the middle of the forest, given the initial task of finding out where the native squirrels nest, but that soon turns into a more complex task of solving the mystery behind their strange behavior. You spend your daytime exploring the area and placing your various cameras where you feel like would be good places to put them to record the necessary footage you need to collect your data. And then at night, you look over the footage and record things of interest and report back to your boss, Dr. Nina Scholes, who also did research in the very same forest many years ago. As you go, you unlock additional cameras and TV monitors to capture even more footage than you could previously. Low key for me, getting the extra equipment made me feel like I was accomplishing something. It made me feel like I was moving up in the world. Like, oh man, I got another TV, I got another camera. All right, I can do even more now. I'm moving up. It's like they promoted me. And then even going back and just setting up the extra stuff, it made me feel good about myself. You know, gave me that sense of when you're playing a game, what gets you to want to progress in the story? What will you unlock? Stuff like that. It gave me that feeling that I guess you would call it like the loot grind you would have in other video games. And you also have other items you could use besides the video cameras and the TV monitors and stuff like that. You have your journal, which holds your objectives you need to complete for that chapter. It can hold pictures that you've taken out in the world, in the environment. And it also keeps up with the count of the number of days you spent out there. Because every time you go to watch your recorded footage, another day passes. And if you want to keep up with it and you can't really remember what the number flashed on the screen saying whatever day it was, you can always look in your journal and see the tally marks to know how many days you've been out there. You get a GPS. The GPS helps you find certain areas you need to go to, rather the initial spot to place your first camera to get an idea of where you need to look, or what else it can mark on there. Also marks back the way to your campground, your caravan, And it also gives you like any other certain points of interest you may have. And it also keeps track of your video cameras after you done set them out in the field. You might forget where you placed one of them. It lets you know where they are, and it keeps them numbered so you know which one is which, and you're not just picking up a random camera. And like I said, you also have a regular camera for taking pictures. I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not. Take still photos, because sometimes you'll have to do that to show your boss things as well, other than just screen captures of the recorded footage. And you can also find a cassette player out in the wild that you can play cassette tapes on. I don't know if you have to find it. I think I randomly stumbled upon it out of the blue just from exploring. So I want to say you get achievements. I played on Steam, so I got achievements for finding it and finding some tapes. And it's also some other random items you can find that are not essential to progressing the story or anything like that, but they're nice little things you can find lying around. I was told it should take around 4 hours to finish the game, but I'm sure it took me longer than that, maybe around 5 to 6 hours. Shoot, maybe even 7. But I feel like you have to get lucky somewhat to complete this game in 4 hours, because it comes down to a lot of trial and error. I guess you could probably get lucky and complete it quicker than some people, or some people might take longer just because they want to take their time more in the game and explore more and actually look for more hidden things you can find. Like I said, with the cassette player and the different tapes, I don't think I found all the tapes. Some people might want to find all the tapes, you know, nothing wrong with that. The game is broken up into 6 chapters. At the start of each chapter, you will have your mission briefing with objectives to complete. It is then up to you to determine where to place your cameras, and you will typically take a good bit of trial and error to complete your assignments. Unless, like I said, you get super lucky, which is possible. I feel like a lot of times I was putting the cameras in good positions, so I thought, but then I would go back and check my footage and it would be nothing. I would see not a single squirrel crawling on any one of the cameras, and it was so frustrating at times. But hey, I had to just go back out, reset this camera. Sometimes I had to start all the way over and place it back from where I had it originally and just make smaller adjustments. Sometimes you want to go make a super big adjustment and completely just mess up what you had built upon previously, and sometimes it's just better to make those slight changes instead of trying to take a big leap and assume you know where the squirrel was going, because a lot of times they're not going where you think they're going. Each chapter does a good job of building on the things you learned in the previous chapter, as well as adding in some things story-wise to further stress the importance of the work you're doing. Low-key, there were times in the game where I was just waiting for it to become a horror game with the changing in the music and all that, or to get some kind of jump scare, because there was definitely some tense moments and some serious moments where if the game wanted to, it could have legit scared me with the slightest jump scare or the slightest, I don't know, an animal probably could have came and ran up to the caravan window and scared me low-key if it happened fast enough. Honestly, when I came into the game, I wasn't sure if I would like it that much, but I was intrigued by the visuals, and I do enjoy a good puzzle game here and there. You know, you got to switch it up from the fast-paced shooting, killing, playing sports, all the other really intense concentration consuming games, and just switch it up with something like this. You can just chill out and take your time and just play. You know, you gotta de-cleanse yourself from all those other games. Sometimes play something like this. I did end up enjoying the guessing game of placing the cameras around, looking for the best spots I felt I would see a squirrel either running to or running from, even though at times I got tired of having to reposition the cameras over and over, and I would be like, man, this must be what it feels like to be an OnlyFans cameraman. This is tough. But I guess if you're a good guesser or a lucky person, you might not have to do as much repositioning of the cameras as I did. And it might even be possible to find the final areas for the assignments without even tracking the squirrels all the way. But I'm not sure if you can do that. I don't know if they have it kind of locked off until you track the squirrels for a certain amount, or if you can just go out and look around until you find what you're looking for, even though you might not even know that's what you're looking for. I don't know if you could play the game that way or not. I guess it could be possible. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure somebody out there try to complete the assignments without actually tracking the squirrels all the way through. I even enjoyed combing through the recordings, looking for the perfect time to take that screen capture to send over to my boss. It low-key reminded me of editing a YouTube video. Yeah, that's pretty much the life of a content creator for you though. Even when I'm not actually editing a video in real life, I somehow end up playing a video game where I feel like I'm doing the same task. I even like that the game wasn't super long. You know how every other game is coming out and doing whatever it can to make the game as long as it can be, doing whatever they have to do to pad the game time out, whether it's side quests, collectibles, making you have to grind to progress the story, things like that. This game didn't bother to really do that. They pretty much gave me the right amount of grind, the right amount of story. So I can really appreciate smaller gaming experiences like this. Like I said, I was told it takes around 4 hours to complete, but I'm pretty sure it took me around 5 to 6, maybe 7. And that was without really finding all the collectibles. I think I only got 4 achievements while playing this. It was a couple of more that I missed. Like I said, I played it on PC. I think it's also available on Nintendo Switch. So I don't know if it has any, I don't think the Switch has any achievements or anything yet. They might have something built into the game, but I'm not sure. But yeah, like I said, I really enjoy games that come out and give me a smaller experience that I can actually complete, and not this super mega giant time consuming game that I know I'm probably not going to complete because it's just too much of a time sink. At the end of the day, my only real gripes with this game are I wish there was a bit more exploration in the world when you're out walking around. Of course, it's kind of open, but it's still kind of blocked off to keep you inside the certain area they want you in, the area they want you monitoring, things like that. Of course, if they made it super open, it would be so much harder to track the squirrels and to keep up with where they're going. So I understand that, but I wish it was just a little more you could do in the areas that you are allowed to walk around in. Like, they give you a lot of things that are lit up, like you can interact with them, but you can't really do anything with them. Or I couldn't figure out anything to do with them. Like, when you first go in your caravan, you can pick up like pots and pans, and I think there's like a propane burner in there or something like that. Maybe a coffee pot, some coffee cans, mugs, stuff like that. But you can't really do anything with them. Or at least I couldn't figure out anything to do. There was like apple cores sitting out and stuff, but you can't do anything with them but pick them up and set them back down. They even had like a little porta potty and the tissue sitting on the porta potty. You can pick up the tissue, but that's about it. You can't really do anything else with it. And there's a lot of other things lit up, like barrels of, I don't know what's in the barrels actually. It's just random barrels lit up, and you can't really do anything with them. So I would just like to be able to interact with things more and have a little more to do while you're walking around. But other than that, that's pretty much my only gripe about that. Oh, and I was a little lost at the end with the story for some reason. I don't know if I maybe had missed something story-wise, something my boss was telling me, or maybe something on a tape recording I didn't hear all the way. But once the game ended, I was just like, oh, okay, that's the end, I guess. I don't really know what the conclusion was or the climax was that was building up what was happening before the end with what the research was uncovering. Not to spoil anything for anybody, but if anybody that plays it, maybe they could help me out, let me know what the mystery ended up being at the end, because I felt like it wasn't really explained to me that well, or what the solution would be, or what even happened with my boss from our last conversation, the last time I talked to her. The last time I talked to her, she was in her car, I believe, supposed to be coming to get me out of the forest, but I don't know what happened with that. So, but all these things I feel like they could build upon and make an even better game for Nuts 2 if they decided to make another one. I feel like it's some potential there to make another one. If they made a part 2, I would check it out. I feel like it would be a decent game to play. So when it comes down to it, do I feel like Nuts is worth a try? I'm going to have to say yes. If you're a person that likes a good puzzle game, or if you're somebody that's looking for a shorter gaming experience, something they can just chill out and play without having to, I won't say we're not having to think a lot, but because you're definitely gonna have to think a little bit when you're chasing around these squirrels and figuring out where to place your cameras. You're gonna have to think some, so I'm not gonna say that. But if you want a break from the typical games you're probably playing, or if you're just a fan of these type of games, I definitely say give Nuts a try. That's always gonna be funny to me. Give Nuts a try. Is Nuts worth trying? But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends. If you'd like to hang out with me while I play games live, you can do so over on twitch.tv/onthesticks. I'm live most mornings during the week, 10:30 a.m. Eastern to 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Come hang out with me and my community. All right, you guys, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and be sure to check back here daily for more content here at On The Sticks. Thanks.